Hey there, hi there, ho there. mykeadelic here with another exciting video for ya. Today we're going to be talking about my boy, Rian Johnson. It's a very personal video because I've been a fan of Rian Johnson. I'm just going to pull this because it's under the tripod. Oh, shit. I'm going to check this shot. I'm sure it's fine. It's fine, whatever. It flies back. I don't know how continuous this is, but there's a fly still here. And it's driving me insane. These videos where I'm wearing what I'm wearing right now are all unscripted. So just kind of looking at Wikipedia and going off the dome, really speaking from more the heart and kind of using this just for almost like a reference or kind of a skeleton so that I can discuss freely. What's this, court? Sorry, my brain is melting. I've been staying up real late working on a lot of things. Did a podcast yesterday with my brother and his girlfriend Morgan Cope, and that'll be coming out soon. It's called Social Probe. So yeah, a lot of content, a lot of production lately, so stay tuned. Okay, let's talk about Rian Johnson. Rian Craig Johnson was born December 17th. Oh, look at that. Happy recent birthday. 1973. Someone else I think has that same birthday. Maybe my friend Lucas. Rian Johnson is an American filmmaker. He made his directorial debut. Let's talk about this bad boy with neo-noir mystery film Brick. Oh boy. If you haven't seen Brick, stop what you're doing, find it, and watch it. Brick is great. Brick is like a super low budget noir. Like, honestly, this is exactly why I wanted to make this video. Knives Out 2, Electric Boogaloo, a Glass Onion is coming out on Netflix. Maybe today, whenever this video is coming out. See, I'm learning. This is the time to release a Rian Johnson video. I'm going to do a video on Knives Out 2 once I watch it. I'd really like to see it. I missed it in theaters, or it wasn't released near me or whatever, but I'm really looking forward to it. So, I decided to talk about Rian Johnson because as a aspiring young filmmaker, I really got into Rian Johnson. Specifically when I was in high school. This is before Star Wars. I think maybe I remember Star Wars being announced. This is Looper in theaters. This is pre-Looper. Rian Johnson. Real one right here. So let's talk about Rian Johnson, and starting with Brick. 2005 neo-noir mystery thriller film written and directed by our boy Rian Johnson in his directorial debut, starring, of course, who else but Joseph Gordon-Levitt. If you don't know about Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Rian Johnson, I'm pretty sure Joseph Gordon-Levitt has been in every single Rian Johnson film. He's got a little cameo. He's got a little cameo in Brothers Bloom. He's got, if not a role, a little cameo. So get with it. Everybody knows that. He's got to be in. Who is he in Knives Out? He's on the phone, or he's in the first one. He's either on the phone or like on the TV show that Ana de Armas is watching, that Martha is watching. So yeah, I'm telling you, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Rian Johnson, get with it. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm trying to be funny. I love you. We're sharing information here on the internet. It's the future. Headphones are wireless. I remember when I was that idea to me is still crazy. Wireless headphones. Okay, moving on. Brick is a hard-boiled detective story set in a California suburb. Most of the main characters are high school students. The film draws heavily in plot, characterization, and dialogue from hard-boiled classics, especially those by Dashiell Hammett. The title refers to a block of horse compressed roughly to the size and shape of a brick. Film won Special Jury Prize for Originality of Vision at Sundance in 2005, which right on, rightly so, and received positive reviews from critics. It has come to be regarded as a cult classic. Well, call me a cult member because I am loving that movie. I'm not going to talk too much about the plot or anything. I'm going to maybe, I guess since we're talking about Rian Johnson, let's just talk about style. He is a writer and director, so there's consistencies in all his kind of works, no matter the budget, like I was saying before, whether it's having Joseph Gordon-Levitt and all of them, or all these different things. So what are the style? Kind of like notable style points in Brick, or notable style So notable style points for Brick. Let's see. Okay, first off, the dialogue. It's snapping, it's slapping. I know where he eats lunch. Like, there's stuff you can remember. I haven't watched in a while. This is like a testament to Rian Johnson's artistry. I haven't watched any of these all that recently. I'm going off the dome, folks. I'm telling you. And the amount of information that this brain retains about Rian Johnson films is remarkable because it's worth remembering. It's memorable. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know, go watch all this stuff you haven't seen, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to continue on. The style of Brick is incredible. The dialogue is super snapping. It's very unique. It's creative, and yet it matches the style noir, but it's not exactly like any kind of noir. So unique and yet very homagey. That's You see that all the way to Knives Out, to Foreshadow. Uniqueness combined with this homage and this like awareness, almost like, I don't know, Tarantino with more of a like more patience or something. I don't know. Second style point. First style point's dialogue. Second style point would be the camera work, because there's shots I can think of right now, like when the car almost hits or like drives right up to him and they drop the cigarette. Like there's two notable car shots. One where the car's like right past his hand, someone drives right past him, very close, like, and it's like sped up or whatever. All these are just little interesting things, and things that maybe when he gets punched in the face, little stylized things of the action. The action's sparing, but when it happens, things happen with the camera. It kind of oscillates between like these really still, super wide, like nice shots, and then boom, like something crazy happening. I what a great style. Like, I haven't thought about this in so long, and I'm really just getting all jazzed. Camera work, the dialogue. There's certain things too where there's kind of like tropes and maybe playing into tropes to a certain degree, but also subverting them. But subversion is something we're going to get into. So subversion is definitely part of his style. So dialogue, crazy camera work, and subversive themes. That's a clean three. Let's take it with that and move on. The origins of Brick were Rian Johnson's obsessions with Dashiell Hammett novels, hard-boiled detective novels. He wanted to make a straightforward American detective story. He discovered his work through an interview of the Coen brothers about Miller's Crossing. Shoutouts to filmmakers reading about filmmakers. We love it. He read Red Harvest, Maltese Falcon, Glass Key, which had been the Glass Key had been main influence for the Coens film. He grew up loving detective stuff. Diggity doogity doo. And really, he said it was really amazing how all the archetypes from that detective world slid perfectly over the high school types. So that kind of fusion of cliches, that's really like profound, awesome. He wrote the first draft after graduating from USC, which, fun fact, that's probably one of the reasons I wanted to go to USC, and I did not get in there. I toured there. I went to Emerson College instead, and it was fun. So yeah, shout outs to Emerson. Diggity doogity doo. $450,000 for the film's budget. Started making it in 2003, shot it in 20 days. Wow. And they refined the script, and wow, rehearsed with the cast for 3 months. See, this makes so much sense. Things like that, a lot of rehearsal with the cast, that's how you kind of really know there's like an actor's director. That's awesome. We're going to kind of skip through. I don't want to talk about this too long. Oh, wow. He had them watching Billy Wilder comedies like The Apartment and His Girl Friday because he didn't want them to be influenced by noir films. Again, with the snappy dialogue. I love Rian Johnson. Wow. Coffee and Pie Oh My was a Caro's restaurant, but has since been abandoned. Telephone Seat, San Clemente. Most of it takes place at San Clemente High School, which Rian Johnson attended. Wow. This is some real slacker vibes. Richard Linklater, first film. Under the Pico exit, there's the drain tunnel. Wow, classic. That brings me back. So yeah, this is all like a lot of kind of like local stuff to good old Rian Johnson doing a lot of hometown shooting. We love to see it. We do it ourselves here on the mykeadelic channel. Let's see. Wow, Sergio Leone spaghetti westerns and Cowboy Bebop. Cool. As a influence, which again makes a lot of sense with those energetic moving shots and stuff. And Chinatown, wide open flat spaces, love to see it. Most of the special effects were done cheaply, practical and in camera. We know it, we love it. Early in the film, DeRaven walks towards the camera out of a tunnel as a garbage bag floats downstream and engulfs the camera. Transitioning to Joseph Gordon-Levitt back in his character bedroom. I mean, come on, a garbage bag, very expensive. To achieve this, the desired effect scene was filmed in reverse order. There we go. The garbage bag began over the camera, was pulled away during filming as DeRaven walked backwards into the tunnel. Wow. The scene was then cut into a scene in which garbage bag was simply pulled over Gordon-Levitt's head. Wow. Sick. Creativity. Filming a car driving slowly in reverse, then playing the footage backwards at a higher speed gives the illusion of a car quickly approaching the camera. Clever fades give the impression of time changes, while smash cuts add tension to a scene in which the protagonist wakes up after passing out. Certain edits were also introduced to the film to time footage to different dialogue, adding certain information and leaving other information out. These edits are noticeable as actors' mouths are not always moving in sync with their dialogue. One particular scene in which DeRaven's character floated towards the camera used a green screen, but it was edited out of the film before its completion. So yeah, a lot of obvious kind of tricks. Like you could tell it's sped up, or you could tell that something's happening, but we don't give a crap. We love it. We love to see it. It's really an interesting. It reminds me more of like someone like Martin Scorsese or something, where these Texas Chainsaw, Tobe Hooper, like certain films feel rougher, like 70s films. Like they almost have this handmade feel to them. I really, really love that. Sometimes when something's too overproduced and it feels super clean and all the edges are really cleaned up, it doesn't like hit the same to me. Sometimes it's not as visceral or something, or not. It feels maybe unreal. Whereas when something's kind of a little fucked up in the right way, makes it like it can be your favorite or something. I don't know if that makes sense. Editing was awesome, tight, good stuff. Left degree of ambiguity as far as nudity. Cool. We don't always have to show it. It's we don't need to exploit people and whatnot. So good. We don't always need it. The score was composed by Nathan Johnson, his cousin, who this will be a trend as well. I didn't even talk about the music, but yeah, Nathan Johnson always brings great music to the table. We'll talk about that in the next movie a bit more. The film was a success in the box office, made like 4 mils worldwide, and it was made for like less than $500,000. So yeah, won a bunch of awards: Sundance, Originality of Vision, Diogo Film Festival, Chicago, Most Promising Director, Citizen Kane Award for Best Directorial Revelation in a film festival in Spain, the Citizen Kane Award for Best Directorial Revelation, Most Overlooked Film, and Best Screenplay in the Central Ohio Film Critics Association Awards. Awesome movie, low budget, and apparently it's on Empire Magazine's 500 Greatest Movies of All Time, so cool. Yeah, a lot of the times I watch movies and I think, what are they doing with all that stinking money? You don't need it. You don't need that much money to make a movie. I mean, you need a lot of money, but look at something like Brick. It's great. Why do we need to spend more money than that? Let's make it for low budgets. Low budge. But Knives Out is cool too, and that's expensive. So on we go. Back to the bio. Yeah, he's great. This hasn't aged well. He became inspired by the Woodster, who has done some questionable things after seeing Annie Hall, which that was a cool film stylistically if we were to separate the art from the artist, but we're not going to talk about that too much right now. Brick. Dope. I directed a music video for Mountain Goats. That's cool. I haven't seen that. Sorry, I don't really know the Mountain Goats that well, but maybe I'll get into them and then be eating these words right up. We're going to move on to film number 2. Film number 2 is The Brothers Bloom. Now, this has a real close, much like Brick, also has a real close and personal spot in me heart. The Brothers Bloom is a movie that me and my dear brother really enjoy a lot. I think you can figure out why, because it's about some brothers. It's described as a caper comedy drama film. It's from 2008, written and directed by Rian Johnson. It has Rachel Weisz, Adrian Brody, Mark Ruffalo, Rinko Kikuchi. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Adrian Brody, Mark Ruffalo, Rinko Kikuchi, Maximilian Schell, and Robbie Coltrane. He was great in this movie. Wide release in 2009. Yeah, it's about a couple of con men, and it's just really great. It's clearly like one of those, they gave him a bunch of money. It did not make its money back. It cost 20 million, made 5.5 million, so did not do great, but I really enjoy it. And this movie has a almost like Royal Tenenbaums-esque kind of like eccentric style, with this kind of like like eccentric heiress kind of character played by Rachel Weisz, and you have these con men trying to con her, and like Russian novel level kind of like wildness and trickery. Now that I think about it, all the things that make me really like this movie and that make it perfect for this channel and all the things I want to talk about are all the reasons it probably wasn't super successful. It's not like everybody gets Russian novel references. Like, that's not usually the most popular reference. But we're here for it. Long story short, once again, snapping, slapping dialogue, really great storytelling, amazing. This movie is a master class in setups and payoffs. There's amazing setups and payoffs in this movie. So many little lines. Tastes like tinfoil. Real blood turns brown after half an hour. Like, I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking of them. Yeah, this movie's like so emotional and so deep and so fun and exciting. It's got action. It's got characters. Like, we're talking characters. We're talking depth. We're talking arcs. We're talking development. We're talking, we don't know who they really are. Like Robbie Coltrane. Oh boy, he plays like the Belgian, this guy with like a questionable like French Belgian accent, and it is, you just don't know when he's like his character is like acting. You just don't know when to trust like anybody, which is kind of the nature of this con man kind of situation. And yeah, super amazing, super inspiring. A lot of awesome locations, a lot of globe trotting, and great music. Nathan Johnson just has this ripping like kind of jazzy, like really loose, like almost like drunk style of music. It's fantastic. So yeah, it didn't make a bunch of money. It has 68% on Rotten Tomatoes apparently. Let me look it up on Letterboxd because I'm really curious to see what people think on there. I'm like scared. Please be good. 3.4. Okay, so yeah, I mean 3.4. It looks like mostly 3 stars, 3.5, 4 stars. Not so many 4.5 or 5 stars, but I think it's almost one of those ones that it's like, if you like, yeah, there's like a little bit of sleight of hand, some magic tricks. Like, if you like some of the stuff in there, it might be your favorite movie because of certain little elements and little setups and payoffs. Like, if you love Adrian Brody and Mark Ruffalo and Rachel Weisz and you just want to hang out with them for a couple hours, this might be your favorite movie. But if you love Russian novels and like the Royal Tenenbaums and like eccentric kind of like funky stuff and globe trotting and Montenegro and these like beautiful locations, like, this is going to be your jam. So definitely check out The Brothers Bloom. Super fun movie. I'm not going to spoil anything or anything, but twists and turns, oozing style, anachronistic. I didn't even talk about that. I love that. Anachronisms. Being anachronistic is like being outside of time. So there's like this combination of almost this vintage, like 50s, 1800, like almost like steampunk, but not steampunk. Like, they're always wearing like suits and hats and looking all dapper. And yeah, it's just like this great, super stylized world that makes you want to live in it, you know? And if that's not what movies are all about, I don't know what they are. So, yeah. In the financial world, not 2 for 2, but in my heart, Rian Johnson's still 2 for 2. So we move on. What does he do after that? Didn't make a bunch of money off that. So then he's not jumping right into another project. But because those who know, Rian Johnson directed a couple episodes of the prestigious television drama Breaking Bad, namely The Fly, 51, and Ozymandias, which I think is the last one or second to last one, and some call it the best of the episodes. And yeah, so he's able to bring his vision to a pre-existing thing like Breaking Bad and serve it, as well as kind of bring this creativity and excitement and interesting camera shot. Like in The Fly, there's definitely weird camera shots, and it's almost like an absurd Buster Keaton-y vibe. Yeah, and as I say, Buster Keaton made a number of short films, and there's like a short Buster Keaton-y film he made in college, apparently, on the Brothers Bloom DVD. Yeah, he has some shorts that he put on the as like Easter eggs on his DVDs. Shot a film with Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Paris called Escargot. I have not seen that. Directed a short film called The Psychology of Dream Analysis. Oh, on his Vimeo. I gotta check that out. Check that out later. Sorry, I'm not gonna be talking about it, but I'm sure it's fun. Directed Manifest Destiny of the series Terrifiers. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen that one either. If it's good, let me know. Okay, now we're going to be getting a little hairy. Let's talk about Looper. So, Looper is a fine movie. I love time travel. Back to the Future was a big one for me, and anything that plays with time is going to be on my radar. So, I was very excited for Looper. I love Rian Johnson, love time travel. So, I went to see it, and there were certain things I really liked about it, like the depiction of technology as kind of like unreliable, and the way he kind of played with these ideas, like the Paul Dano kind of situation. I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't seen it, but kind of playing with this idea of the same character existing twice, like one from the past and one from the future. Yeah, kind of interesting stuff. Yeah, good movie. But not perfect movie. Obviously, we got our boy Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it again. He's got the kind of funky prosthetics that look like Bruce Willis. Nothing wrong with that. All in on the performance. I was about that. I didn't hate that. What did I hate? Well, my brother hated the kid. I didn't hate the kid. I thought he was fine, but my brother was like, "Oh, that kid was the worst." And I'm like, "Come on, he's a kid. Don't be mean." Um, But yeah, let me know what you think of the kid in Looper. But yeah, I love time travel, and so I guess it was maybe, I don't know. It felt like it was maybe lacking a little something something that would really make me love it. So yeah, maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's something with Rian Johnson's take on sci-fi, because we'll be getting into The Last Jedi next, which is another one I kind of have mixed feelings about. And yeah, so Looper, long story short, we still got some style, but it is a lot less ragged edge. Well, not Brothers Bloom isn't very ragged edge, but it's very stylish. Looper is a bit more serious. It's a bit more action movie kind of aesthetic, but it still has a certain amount of creativity with little things like props and the technology and the writing. So it's cool. It's a science fiction action thriller, apparently. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. See, like, maybe I gotta watch it again, but in my mind, it's not as good as the first two. And some people, I think, just know Looper. So, if you like Looper, I feel like I'm being such a jerk. Not if you like Looper. If you like Looper, you might like the first two films. Maybe you'll hate them. I really love the first two films, and I love time travel, but for some reason, Looper is just not my jam. Maybe I'll revisit it, but not scratching a certain itch for me. Maybe I wish it was funnier or something. Because now that I'm thinking of Bruce Willis, and I've been watching a lot of Haunted Hippies channel lately, she was talking about Death Becomes Her, and how Bruce Willis was hilarious in that. And I was like, what if Bruce Willis was funny in Looper? Maybe it would have been great if it was a little funny. Okay, Jesus. Jiminy Christmas, it's getting late again, folks. Did that thing where I stayed up too late and then I stayed up too late again, and now I'm just living that up too late lifestyle. So I'm gonna sign off pretty quick, but long story short, my camera battery died, and so now here I am re-recording the second half of the Rian Johnson video. I was gonna record a third thing. I can't even remember what it was. Oh, it was like maybe about community. But I guess I'll just have to do that on a later date, at a later time. Anyways, here we go. We're talking Rian Johnson. Is this crooked? Whatever. Maybe I just made it crooked. Here we go. Rian Johnson. We're talking about him. So, where I left off, talking about Looper, and yeah, it was kind of like too self-serious, and then maybe overcorrected because, yeah, Looper could have used a little bit, maybe of comedy. Maybe it was funny. I don't know. I gotta rewatch it. Yeah, I feel like it wasn't as enjoyable for some reason when in hindsight as the first two films. And so that brings us to the fourth film, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now, to put it succinctly, when I saw Star Wars: The Last Jedi, let's just say it was a trip on many levels. So I had some thoughts that I'll just share real briefly. Some of them specifically that stick out to me that I can still recall. First being about comedy. And so I love comedy. I'm a big fan of comedy. And my big issue with The Last Jedi was mainly on a comedic note. There's certain things that were funny, but it sacrificed the illusion that's required for the suspension of disbelief that I need in order to kind of enjoy the film and believe it and to feel like it's real. And so in comedies, sometimes what is real is not what is real in reality. So there's, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or almost like cartoon-esque rules to comedy. Like people are more durable. Like in Neighbors, I remember they sit on the airbags. Like that could kill a person, but it's funny in a comedy. So that kind of thing. But in something like Star Wars: The Last Jedi, there were moments like the green titty milk and other such things, and the pork being barbecued, which was not pleasing as a vegetarian. There were certain moments I didn't really appreciate in The Last Jedi that I felt like were too funny, but like not taking it seriously, like not funny in the right way. And that really took me out of it. And then lastly, my last note is just it's a space opera. And so, namely that Princess Leia scene, she's flying through space like an opera. That's what I was thinking. It's a space opera. Star Wars has always been a space opera. So I guess that kind of thing's allowed. And yeah, I don't know if I aged out, but the last three were a bit strange. Maybe I need to go back and watch the early ones and think think of how I feel of them nowadays. But questionable choices on The Last Jedi, and it says it has positive reviews according to Wikipedia, but I don't buy that. Not for 1 second. Moving on, we get to the star of the show, the reason we're all here today, Knives Out. Well, we're here for Glass Onion, but Glass Onion is a sequel to Knives Out, so same difference. So Knives Out, great film. I really enjoyed it. Daniel Craig rocking a fun foghorn leghorn accent. We love a good accent here on the mykeadelic channel, and I do declare that Benoit Blanc has a divine accent. And of course, Anna de Armas, who's just great and was great as Martha. And Martha, I don't know. The vomiting, great writing, just like super tight. Again, super stylish. It brings it back to the best parts of the films, and that's kind of like the reason I wanted to make this video. And I'm like doing this twice, so I'm having deja vu, but it's good because it's a lot less rambly than the first time, since this is unscripted. Oh yeah, and speaking of deja vu, I did watch the dream analysis video while my phone was charging because my phone died, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Nothing terribly notable to say. It's like real early stuff, but again, style and the score and dialogue. The Rian Johnson trio, style trio, and the editing as well. Moving on, Knives Out, yeah, bomb. We love it. It's great. Great visual style, great camera movement, great music, great performances. Really, really tight, great writing, great dialogue, and yeah, really stylish, really fun, great like fits, great characters and like distinctions between the characters and kind of cliches and subverting cliches and these things that we've seen since Brick and since his early work that Rian Johnson really knows how to pull off. So totally makes sense that Knives Out is like slapping because it's murder mystery. We know he loves mystery as we saw from Brick. So it's a return to form. And after doing freaking Star Wars, obviously he knows how to deal with like an army of like $1 million, multi-million dollar film set. So yeah, good for Rian. Killing the game. Oh, really fun little story. I think it was maybe when they were doing Looper. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was like speaking for like a Q&A and Rian Johnson came out as an usher, like in disguise essentially. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt like made fun of him or something, like totally like they were like playing this like Andy Kaufman-esque prank on the audience because nobody knew what he looked like. Really great stuff. Just makes you like him even more. Oh yeah, there's apparently oh yeah, two things. So between Knives Out and Knives Out 2, Electric Boogaloo, Glass Onion, and Knives Out Mystery, Rian Johnson directed a commercial for the augmented mobile video game Pokemon Go. I did not know this, and I find this so amusing. I had to share the fact. So yes, Knives Out, Pokemon Go commercial, Glass Onion, and Knives Out Mystery. We love the chronology. It's great. Just thinking of living that life where you do that, and they're like, "I'm gonna do a quick Pokemon Go commercial. Now we can get Edward Norton or whatever." I don't know. It's funny to me. So apparently, in March 2021, also it was announced that Johnson's writing and directing a 10-episode mystery drama television series for Peacock titled Poker Face, starring Natasha Lyonne, which sounds really exciting. Mystery. He knows what to do with mystery. Natasha Lyonne, she's great. She was great in Russian Doll. She can lead, and I love the time play. I'm making the same joke I made before the camera died. I love the time play. I've discovered I have a new kink, and the name of the kink is time play. I love. I Back to the Future was an early big film for me, and I really love time travel and films that play with time travel. And so I really wanted to love Looper. Maybe I will if I rewatch it. I don't know. But Russian Doll is really fun and plays with like time travel and kind of like body swapping even kind of in the second season. So yeah, really interesting time play in that one. I did the wink before too, so I'm really just basically scripted now. Filming on the first Knives Out sequel, Glass Onion Knives Out Mystery, began on June 28th, 2021. After premiering in the 2022 Toronto International Film Festival, the film will receive a one-week theatrical release. Boo, I missed it. It should have been longer. Across the United States and in other international markets from November 23rd to 29th, 2022, before streaming on Netflix December 23rd, which I plan on dropping this by. And once Glass Onion is out on Netflix, I'm going to be watching that and talking about that. I've heard good things, and I'm looking forward to it. One more fun fact I'm going to leave you with before I sign off. Did you know that Rian Johnson is also a folk singer and banjo player, and his brother is music producer Aaron Johnson, not to be confused with Aaron Taylor Johnson? His cousin Nathan Johnson composed the scores for Brick, Brothers Bloom, Looper, Knives Out, and Glass Onion. And Rian and Nathan make up a folk duo called The Preserves. And Johnson has been married to film writer and podcaster Karina Longworth since 2018. This is just straight off Wikipedia, folks. I don't know what to tell you, but it gives me a little bit of a structure. I mean, when I'm reading it straight off Wikipedia, obviously, most of these thoughts are my own. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching this video on the mykeadelic channel. I've been mykeadelic. I will continue to be mykeadelic in the future. There's plenty of other videos. Click around, stick around. Marlboro Street, a new music video recently dropped, so check that out. I'm really pleased with that one. More coming soon. and I love ya. Oh, I wanted to sign off with an accent. I haven't done my English accent yet, so I needed to give it some practice on camera. Because I might get a bit nervous and then I don't know if it's going to sound good. Right, okay, so thanks for watching the mykeadelic channel. My name's Mike. I've been Mike. I'm going to continue to be Mike in the future. If you come back here, we've got plenty of videos. Just finished a video. Coming out Tuesday. All my videos on Tuesday. Just had a video called Marlborough Street for a music song off an album. It's called Another Life. That came out. You check it out. Enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Make a comment. Give it a like. Give it a subscribe. Ring the bell. All that shit. Jolly good. Follow me on things. Instagram, Letterboxd. Whatever. The accent's falling apart. It's all a ruse. I gotta go to sleep. Good night. Love ya. Peace out.